Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, wearing grey shorts and a white t-shirt, weighing 168 pounds, the one, the only, Paul Drew.
There we go. Get the jokes out.
Yeah. Welcome everyone to the Studio Act Live Q&A 119, believe it or not. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
Paul Slugger Drew.
Paul Slugger Drew. Thing is, when you grow up in Croydon, you've got to deal with stuff.
You should have seen the other bloke.
yeah, the other, it was a toddler. Anyway. You all right?
I'm very well. Tell us how you did it.
No, if I told you to do it, but no, because I've got to release like a bunch of videos, and then like it's weird, isn't it? It's weird, like when you do something like this because you're bound to get comments.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it out. Yes, I've got a black eye, and I'm trying to think of something funny to say at the start of every. And then if I tell them the truth, it's not quite as dramatic.
Not as exciting, is it?
Nah, it's not quite as exciting.
Yes, the elephant in the room is that Paul had a little accident and now has a black eye. Quite a shiner, I will say that.
Thank you very much.
What good work.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, it was out here, and it was just like this big puffy, like this bit here was just like hanging. It was horrible.
So we didn't have an argument after the Marshall video, I promise.
No. Hey, trust me, if we had an argument, I wouldn't end up one of these.
So we hope you are very well out there and surviving yet another crazy week. Obviously, Monday was a very strange day, saying goodbye to Her Majesty. But I think as a nation, we're past it now. I think we're good. So back to business as usual. And yeah, some interesting video stuff's going on this week. Been some interesting stuff last week as well. You came over on Thursday, pre your Slugger Drew.
Yeah. That was Friday, actually. That happened on Friday. Yeah.
Well,
the modelling gig on Saturday was obviously cancelled.
I had a very interesting gig on Saturday, but
yeah. How did that go? Is that you were DJing drummer or something?
I was DJing.
Right.
To what the act call DJ Live. Basically, I was playing the backing tracks that were effectively the karaoke tracks with everything except the lead vocal.
Right.
And the band were then playing and jamming on top.
Oh, was it not?
I actually spent most of the gig.
Keep them in time.
Oh, like this. Genuinely. The poor guy couldn't hear. There was no click track. He hasn't got a chance. So I said if I ever did one of those again, I would prep all the clicks, but I'd want some money to do it in advance because you can't do it any other way.
Is it the same band that do this every time, or is it
no scratch band doing stuff to click?
My God, that is horrendously stupid.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, the audience loved it, and we got through it. There was a few but you know what audiences at a wedding are like.
Fun, isn't it? It's funny what you can get away with. Isn't it funny, like what you can, like musicians just spend all this time worrying about
sounds and tone and drum heads and mic sound and good PAs. It's such a shame.
And then a band comes on and they're not even playing in time with the track, and the audience are loving it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense.
Yes, very strange, very very strange.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, I think I was away. It's quite sad when you get to a gig. Once you've set up, you start working out how you can get out quickly. Starting your escape plan.
Yeah.
They were all right. The audience loved it. It was a very nice, beautiful place. Beautiful marquee in this amazing house, privately owned house that you just,
Oh, nice.
Nice people. Yeah, Great, nice easy gig, relatively speaking. And then Tuesday we started on, or yesterday as it is, we got back into the studio build, which is great.
Nice.
And things will start to progress a little further. Another video at some point will appear.
Nice.
Should we talk about all things Marshall?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, some of the stupid comments.
Right. I appreciate that those of you who are watching this are probably not the people who have commented ridiculously on the video. This is the sound meter I used. You will see.
Yeah.
The meter on one side is moving. That is
Yeah.
the active meter. The meter on the other side is the maximum SPL that has been recorded. People saying, "Oh, but your meter's not moving," or "You've already hit the maximum." No, you're wrong. The one that's moving is telling us the actual level. The one that's peaked out is hit the peak. That's how we know what the loudest point was.
Oh, you see, I didn't even give a monkeys about that. I was just like, it was just a bit of a laugh. So
how often these days do you actually get to turn one of those things up full tilt?
Absolutely, no, it's great fun. It was great. It was great fun. But I think people are just like they're too fixated on proper geeky numbers. It doesn't matter.
But the Fun Police were out early doors.
Huh?
The Fun Police were certainly out early doors, but
that's all right. It's all right. And you know, loads of people watch the video, which is great.
Some interesting stuff has come out of it. So some suggestions like maybe some new tubes. So got onto our friends at Watford Valves because I am going to keep it. It's awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Got onto our friends at Watford Valves and got a new tube for some new tubes. I've also bought a new tube for the valve state because you can put a different 12AX7 or 12AT7 tube in it. And for 20 quid, if it improves the tone of it and I can sell it easier, it's not a bad sound, but it's not that one, you know.
I think you'll be surprised how little to nothing that valve change will do on the valve state. Preamp tubes don't really wear out. You're not going to get any unless it's microphonic. It's working fine. So I think
I thought get a vintage Mullard in there and see if it can
put a vintage Mullard in a valve state.
Hey, it's worth 20 quid if it makes it playable. But other than that, I am off to sunny Birmingham tomorrow.
Nice. To do what?
The Arnolds.
Oh, is that tomorrow? Is it nice?
It's tomorrow. Yeah, the build up is tomorrow, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not going to suggest that any of our brethren, our Rat Pack, I will see them there. But if you are into strongman and fitness and all that sort of stuff, maybe I might see you at the NEC in Birmingham for the Arnold Sports Festival. It's Arnold as in that Arnold, of course. Apparently he's going to be there this year as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, nice.
An event with his name on, and the guy actually turns up.
No.
Should we get into some of the questions and comments and stuff?
Go on in.
And crack on.
Go on in. Ben Mayers says, "Hey guys, IK Multimedia finally announced Tonex would be released on the 29th. I've got talking about that in a minute, actually, Ben.
Okay.
But yes, and he also says, when you do a review, I want to beg you to please do a capture of your bad cat, so there's a quality capture of the amp. I'd really like to see it on there early. I think yes. Yeah. Okay. We can talk about all that sort of stuff in a moment.
Yeah. Cool.
Nedamido says, good evening and greetings to all. Good evening, Ned.
And greetings to Yao.
Chris is in the house. He said, good evening. Good evening, Chris. Hi to Bogeyman. And Keith's in the house. Afternoon, chaps. Afternoon, Keith. Keith did a nice thing this week. He did a recording seminar with Andy Timmons.
Oh,
how cool would that have been?
I would have liked to have gone to that.
Yeah, so would I. I think that would be great.
So I've just been stabbed in the thigh with my keys. Now I've got the shed up and running. Yep. The key bunch is getting ridiculous.
What did they say? Something about...
And the shed keys are epic. They're huge.
Yeah, like that.
Anywho.
Mick Shore says, evening, gents. Evening, Mick.
Evening.
David Brose. Hello, mates. Hi, David. In a scrum this weekend, Paul. Yes, Been in I'm going to keep showing it off. It's not half as impressive as it was.
See, I think now it's at that stage where it looks good. It's kind of a bit sort of purpley, a bit yellowy.
But there's the look. Oh, it's the wrong eye. God, everything's opposite, isn't it? But there's the scar.
Yeah.
And it's just like I thought. Oh, do you know I'm going to get away with that without getting a black eye.
Nice.
Jonathan says, he says, "Hi chaps, have you got an email or available on Messenger? I have something for you. I'm sure you're going to like. Dan Huff at home, laying solos down for Joe Vanna, Mecca. Joe has sent me. Oh, nice. I bet that sounds awesome. Yeah, Jonathan. I can't. If you easiest way of doing it, if you don't mind, go on to the Studio Rats website, which is thestudiorats.net, and you can send anything you want from there, mate. That would be fantastic. Love to hear that. And he says, I've linked to one of the tracks. It's spectacular. I bet it is.
Yes, please. We'd like to see that and hear that.
It can't be that, man. You can message me first on Messenger if you prefer. There we go. Been in the mosh pit, Paul? Nope. Yeah, but yes. Mike's in the house from Twickenham. Hi, Mike.
We've got a gig in Twickenham.
We have, haven't we?
We have next year.
Next year.
After our successful first gig together, we've now got 10 next year.
Have we got 10? Nice. Nice.
Picked up a New Year's Eve gig, which is going to be quite nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Shep is in the house. He says, evening all, watching Beerless this evening, Detox Week, better known as On Call. Oh, On Call for what, mate? What do you do?
We don't know.
You see, I don't drink until Thursdays. I try and because Thursday's obviously the new Friday, isn't it?
I don't think you should drink at all, mate, if that's what happens.
This was in the morning. This was first thing in the morning.
Hangover. See? Hangover.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair dues.
I was joking.
No, I didn't. I've just been out. I've been out for a run and everything. I've been in. Yeah, anyway. Neil, my eye looks like that. He says, my eye looks like that every time my wife finds out I bought a new guitar. Max Hodges is in the house. Yo, dudes of the first order, how art thee? All good, mate. And how are you? I do like looking at that guitar. It's got a nice collection.
That's quite a rack, isn't it?
It's quite a rack. Well, with that, Tribe's in the house. The thick keys give extra low mids to the room they unlock. Little known fact. There you go.
I like that.
Evening Will with that, Tribes. Nidamido, that's a nasty black eye. I hope it's all right. Yeah, it's all fine, mate. I can see. Do you know, I went to A&E. A&E is our accident
emergency room.
Emergency room. And I went in there, and the blood is just like, when I say it's pouring out, that's a slight exaggeration. It's not pouring out of it, but the blood's just dripping out. I definitely needed stitches. And it's like literally just dripping down my face. I'm trying to wipe it up. And I sat there for an hour. And then I only had like an hour on the car. So I went over to the receptionist and said, how much longer do you think I'm going to have to wait? Because I need to put some more money in the car. She said, oh, it's at least another 3 hours. So I went, right, I'm going home. So just got some steri strips, taped it all up.
I have told you so many times, those do-it-yourself facelifts, mate, they're really not worth it.
Well, good though, isn't it? Look at
that. So last week you came over.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new digs?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's big old space. Nice big old space, that is.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
They started putting the rock wall in the roof yesterday.
Oh, great.
And what's really weird is you walk out there and it's like a different acoustic already. It's really calmed it down a lot.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, there's a lot still to do, but I mean, it's starting to happen again, which is good.
Right.
We need to find something to talk about because we are at the end. I mean, we are at the end of the comments, which is very rare for us.
It is rare. This is slow comments this week. Shep says NHS IT on call.
There's irony considering what you've just been talking about.
Yeah.
I thought that was NHSHIT is what I really start with.
Okay, well, I've got something because can we talk about gear? Gear that's arrived. I've had gear that's arrived.
Yeah.
And I've got 6 of them, which I'm really excited about. And I've tried them all out, and I'm pretty.
There's one called E, one called A, one called D.
What?
6 of them.
6 of them.
E, A, D, G.
Ah, very good. No, they are. I've been sent the whole Fjord fuzz lineup.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, was that different pedals in different hands?
Different pedals, different hands. Look at this.
Nice.
And the last 2, all 6 of them. All 6 of them. And they are, I mean, not only I love the aesthetics of it.
Mm-hmm. They do look very cool.
They do look really cool. I love the big old knobbarge on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite unusual in the way that he does this, and I'm just gonna show you guys if you can see it. Because obviously you've got your DB, which is obviously volume. Then you got the ray gun. Then you got that. What's that? Ray gun rate? No. Then you got the mushroom, and then you got the upside down heart. So deciphering them is a little bit tricky, but I quite like that.
Yeah.
And it's all fine because I've got all the manuals here. I've got all the manuals telling me exactly what everything does. But in the middle of a gig.
But you're not going to read those.
No. I've got to. I've got, when you're doing product videos and stuff, you've got to have a look because. But I like it. I like the fact that it's like you don't actually, if you just plug it in.
Yeah.
It's literally like you're not going, oh, I think I might need a little bit more of that. You're just going, you're trying to find something as opposed to. And I really like that. And they sound epic. And my favorite so far, they all sound great. They do honestly all sound great. But my favorite so far.
They only do fuzz.
No. So all of the other ones are fuzz, different types of fuzz. Okay, so there's 5 different types of fuzz.
Right.
And a rotor vibe and a vibe pedal.
Yeah.
That I love vibe pedals. So, and that's awesome. So this is really good because you've got speed, and then you've got 2 different depths.
All right, cool.
So you can. It's almost like having 2 presets.
Nice.
So yeah, for different, for solos and stuff. Take it back a little bit for your solo. That's a really good idea, and they sound brilliant.
Cool.
Oh, and one other thing. So, do you remember Simon, who we went to
guitar with?
Guitar with to sort out a Telecaster. He's lent me his Whammy.
Whammy.
It's a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I fixed it for him as well. There, Simon, if you're watching, it works now. Yeah, a lot of fun. Like that a lot. So I'll do a video on the Whammy. You bought anything new?
Nothing that's very exciting. I've bought some Rockwool and I've bought some more timber, but nothing on the exciting front this week.
Okay. Hey, Simon's in the hoose. He says, "Yay, thanks, Paul. Anytime, mate. Thanks for lending it. All working, lovely jubbly."
Nice. Let's carry on with some of these here commandos.
Max says, "Fun this week. Swapped out a ZR Trem on an Ibanez S570 for an Edge Zero. Wasn't at all sure it was possible, but it turned out to crop be just about the easiest trem swap in history." Right. Is the Edge Zero? What's the ZR? Hold on. Let's have a quick look at this. Is that Ibanez? Did Ibanez make the Z? Iban.
I have no idea. Ibanez's naming conventions are not exactly what you might call user friendly.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the other one called? What's the other trem called?
An Edge Zero.
I'm not the fastest typist in the world. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at this. So there's okay. Do you want me to share?
Yeah, go on.
Hold on. I don't exactly know what's going on. Okay, I think you might need to explain that a little bit because.
Let me post
Don't worry.
Let me post the link. And Max, if you can come on and share.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That'd be much better.
I'll post the link on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch to see if anyone's watching on Twitch. But yeah, come on and say hi and show us what you did, because I'm curious, because trem swapping.
Well, I want to know why. I want to know what the difference is. Why did it? What's the benefits and all that sort of stuff.
But to hear something like that has been straightforward. It's a good thing. We want to know how and why and all the nitty gritty, because we're that sad.
David says you should see an optometrist just in case. Yes, you're probably right. You're probably right. But to be honest, there's been no bruising to the eye. There's been no blood. My eye's not bloodshot or damaged at all. So it's. But yes, you are right, David. You're not the first person to say that. I should go and do that.
I did say to him, "How's your sight?" First thing I said to you.
I can see perfect. Actually, I can probably see better out of that now. There we go.
You look like a pirate, but
Huh? Yeah.
You look like a pirate.
Well, I was going to wear a patch. I was thinking a patch might, just for extra sympathy,
Okay. At this point, we are joined by Mr. Max Hodges.
Yeah. Hello, mate.
All right, guys. I don't know whether you can hear me or not.
We can, yeah.
Loud and clear. Right. So you're going. What's a Z trem? What's an Edge Zero?
Come on.
Yeah. Call yourselves guitar geeks. Good grief, man.
No, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer who's surrounded by guitar stuff.
I haven't got any locking trems in my studio. So
yeah, I've got quite a few.
Yeah, you've got quite a few. He likes those Ibanez. Look at this. Okay, what's this?
This is a Z trem.
Right. What? Okay.
Z trem is nice and clever.
Yeah.
Because instead of working on a knife edge, it rotates on a bearing face.
Max, come over a little bit. Come over a little bit so we can see it.
There we go. I'm trying to see the screen from an angle. It's not working for me. So.
No, that's all right, mate. So is this is an Ibanez patent trem, is it?
Yeah, I think there was the principle of operation was subject to a court case, and so they dropped it and went back to using knife edges.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So it was discontinued in, I don't know, something like 2015 or 13, something like that. Oh. And they are a great trem, but they feel different from those that use a knife edge. Right. The reason for that is that the point of pivoting is in line with the bridge saddle, so you might be able to see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
the pivot point is actually almost in line with the saddles, so the response to player input feels quite different. And I, being an old curmudgeon who first started using trems when Floyd Roses were invented, literally, despite the fact that I appreciate the engineering elegance of this solution, as an engineer, this is brilliant. It's a fantastic trem, and as far as the pivot point concerns, will never wear out. So
great,
but I don't like the feel of them very much.
Okay.
So consequently, with all the other Ibanez ones,
Brent Chadwick just said zero resistance trem. I guess that's why it's called Z.
Yeah, it's it. So all the others, pretty straightforward Floyd Rosy type thing with a knife edge.
Yeah.
So I have over here the one I did this week.
The amount of Ibanez he's got.
So this one did have a ZR on it, and James may be able to post images off my Facebook post about it from last week if he wants to find it.
That would involve some sort of planning and preparation.
Planning? What's that?
So what's this trem called?
So this is an Edge Zero, which is, it's just Ibanez have got, there's the Edge, there's the Low Pro Edge, there's the Edge Pro, there's the Edge Zero, the Edge Zero 2, the Edge 3. There's, basically they're all bloody knife edge trems of varying degrees of quality. The Edge Zero is quite a nice one.
Right.
the Edge 02 is all right, but not as nice as the Edge 0. The fundamental rule with Ibanez seems to be the moment they add a number to the end of something, it gets shitter.
Awesome.
Any Mark II Ibanez is never as good as the original one. They're always looking for a way to make it cheaper. So, but the point is that because it's an entirely different mechanism.
Just come over a bit, Max. Max, just come over a little bit. That's better. That's now we can see it. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's an entirely different mechanism, I had no idea whether or not it was actually possible to do this. I'd seen a couple of posts from a couple of guys around the world who'd said they'd done it, but there wasn't any before, during, and after shot. So it was like, yeah, you've said you've done it without any woodwork or any major headaches. And I've done trem swaps before where I've had to dowel in where the trem post bushings were and then put drill new trem posts in. And then do all of that stuff. And it's like, I was really hoping not to, but they're the same spacing. So I thought I'd give it a go. And it turned out to be a matter of just undoing one and putting the other one in.
So no chisels at dawn or anything like that?
Nothing. I didn't even change the springs. I mean, these things have got a thing called a ZPS, which basically there's a pair of opposing springs. I don't know if you can see the little bug there.
Yeah.
And the tension on the springs is adjusted using that thumb wheel.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Which is nice. And the opposing springs. Now, I mean, when they first came up with this, they said, "Oh yeah, if it doesn't go out of tune when you break a string," it's not quite true, but it does improve the tuning stability.
Great.
And that system exists on both the Edge series and on those ZR trims. So I didn't even need to change that. I just swapped the trem over itself, put the new posts in, and these posts, they have inside the post there's a 2mm Allen key recessed into the post that does an extra grub screw thread at the bottom that then locks the post into the body.
That's cool.
Great.
So it puts tension in, so you don't get any post wobble at all. They're absolutely rock solid.
Nice. Max, tell us about because that's the other. You got the same pickup configuration on that. What have you put in there? You got some aftermarket pickups going on.
Yeah, so pickups I use on nearly all of mine, in various colours, but they're basically the same sort of set. Same with Duncan P rails in the neck. I quite often use a bridge one and flip it round. They're a little bit brighter and a little bit nicer when you're using the P90 in the neck position. And they do, same with Duncan do a couple of versions of the bridge one. There's a hot one and a not so hot one. I prefer the not so hot one for the neck position.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but it's just a little bit brighter than the actual one they market for the neck.
Nice.
And so flip that in a JB Junior, or actually this one's a little 59.
Yeah, great.
But most of the others have got JB Juniors in.
Yeah.
And then this is my custom Kent Armstrong quad rail monster. 8 wires, all sorts of option switching can be done with it, but basically it's not 2 hot rails, it's 2 cool rails, so you get a little bit more dynamic with it. But when you want it all in series, it is the beast of a pickup that nothing else on the planet touches. If you want to drive the front of a valve amp, that'll do it. You don't need a pedal.
Yeah, I hear you. Nice one. Cool.
So yeah, and that's fundamentally the combination I use on nearly all of them. There's a couple of them where I've got HH configurations, and they use P rails on both. And then recently, I'll just put this one down. This pretty young lady joined the family.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And there we've got 2 P rails and a JB Junior.
Nice.
And the switching allows me to select series, coil 1, coil 2, or parallel on all 3 pickups using just 2 switches.
Wow.
Wow.
And then I've got a push on the volume to swap between HSH and HH as well.
That's so common. Do you know what?
And it's subtle, but there's lots of options there. You can be nice and sort of jazzy, bluesy, backed off, nice, clean, beautiful, clean bell sounds. Or you can just grind out the biggest, heaviest riff on earth. This thing's tuned in E flat.
Nice. Cheers, Max. Thanks for coming on. That's, much appreciated for showing us that.
Yeah, but there you go. Yeah, anybody who's going, I can't find spares for the old ZR trims, get an Edge Zero and swap it out.
Nice, great. That's a great tip.
Very cool.
Tip, Max.
Very cool.
I've got to go because dinner's cooking and the mash is going to turn into runny water shortly.
Well, cheers, Max. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Hi, buddy.
No worries. Good to see you. I like your black eye.
Thanks, mate.
Gets taken photographs of lots and lots and lots and lots. I'll see you later, mate.
Cheers, Max. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
How do I get out?
Like that.
There we go. Excellent.
Okay. Let's get. That's good. I like that. I like seeing stuff like that because I'm not brave enough.
No.
I'm not brave enough to take on that sort of stuff. Right, here we go.
Ibanez, isn't he? Got a few of them Ibanezes. Is this? Farid in who?
Is it Ibanez? Is that the plural of Ibanez?
Ibanezes. I don't think you can. Okay. Evening, everyone. Have you done or would you do a video on how to record yourself to a track and the gear you need? That's probably not a bad. That's quite a, and I mean this with the greatest respect. That's quite a basic video, and a basic video is a good thing to do.
I'll do one. I'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
tomorrow, I'm shooting a video tomorrow on my favorite guitar. They're not guitar plugins, but my favorite plugins to use on with guitars in the track. So yeah. Like
we shot another video last week, which will probably go out some point this week, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And the guitar sound was nice, but it just needed a little bit of sweetening in the mix. So a little bit of master bus processing went in there, and I went, "That's better," And I thought, actually, I really like this EQ. I really, really like this EQ. So I'll save that knowledge for a video at some point.
Yeah. Nice one.
At this point, we should.
Mr. McQuillan. Thank you, mate. He said, good evening, all. Hope life is good. And to you, mate. And to you, thank you very much for your generosity. Guys, go and check out Dave's plectrum company, which is called the Highland Plectrum Company. You can go and check it out on Reverb. Some of the best plectrums you're going to get your hands on. And they sound fantastic. And they do sound different.
And all too soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Won't have her picture on her anymore.
Oh no, that's true. We'll have to get some. Yeah, we'll have to get some King Charles ones. I'm not sure David's allowed to do that. You're not allowed to deface coins, are you?
I'm not sure whether you're allowed to. I'm not really sure what.
I'm sure David's not going to get the police coming after him, but yeah.
Right, let's dive in to. Hang on, there we go.
Max says the acoustic of the studio build will change stage by stage.
Yes, and it's all good.
Yes. Maxwell said managed to acquire a couple of old Dan Electro Daddy-O this week, wired into the switching loop on the TCG system, limited edition. Nice one. The Daddy-O. What was the Daddy-O? Was that the Trem?
I don't know.
Anyway,
not Daddy Cool.
Well, that tribe says, notice the hum of that Marshall was a G note, even at low volume. I wonder if, have you got perfect pitch? Well, with that tribes. Could that be a busted cap or a dodgy transformer? I had an angle that had a fault and it made some noise. Health check on it, maybe. Yeah, that's not such a bad idea.
It will go to my amp tech.
It did. It hummed like a bugger, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you cranked it to ridiculous, it really starts to go. I think a new set of valves, and we did say it on the video. It's clearly been worked hard.
Is it self-biasing, that amp?
No idea.
I doubt it. You don't change the valve. Well, go and get
no,
the valve.
I'll take it to Dave.
Great.
Everyone needs a Dave.
Yeah, big Dave.
He'll do it for me. I've got the valves, and then I'll take it to Dave to sort it out for me.
Fab.
He's done all my amps and stuff for ages. So yeah.
Ned says, have you seen that new Kern on overdrive pedal? It's analog, and it's supposed to be the most versatile overdrive ever. Not for me, but it seems excellent. Yes, I've seen that. I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I was. Hold on, get that down. I was disappointed with a couple of the tones that came out of it. I thought, yeah, yet to try. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Simon says, hands on your hips. Yeah.
Simon says, is there an edge shearing? See, Simon's a dad.
Yeah.
Simon's allowed to do dad jokes.
Yes.
Very good.
Sorry.
Mendel Rocks, evening chaps. Much enjoyed that blast of a Marshall. Paul, have you had the Independence and full tilt yet? Not properly full tilt. Full tilt going through an attenuator, but not full tilt. We'd have to do that when James's studio's in. I'll bring up the Independence and we'll
give it some serious.
Plug that bad boy in. Do you know what I reckon? I mean that Independence is so bloody loud, and I know it's 35 watts, but I still think. I mean, the Independence is the only amplifier that I've plugged into, and I plugged 100-watt amps in to the tube amp expander.
Yeah.
And the Independence is the only one that peaks the tube amp expander. So it's weird, isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it? Because I think 100-watt Marshall is 100-watt Marshall. It's blooming loud.
Yeah.
But an AC30 is the loudest amp I've ever witnessed in human existence, and that's only 30 watts.
Yeah.
Valve watts are very grey.
Yes, I completely agree.
Grey watts. Not sure what that really means, but hey.
Jonathan says, okay, Max Hodges has all the Dan Huff clips, etc., on his Messenger account, guys. Enjoy. Nice one. Cheers, Jonathan. Bertrand Duga says, question, is the Boss GT1 or GT100 still suitable for studio recording given the more recent GT1000 and Core? Because it seems to me the drives, reverbs, and delay sound very good. Okay.
I've used way older stuff than that in the studio.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it depends what you're doing. You know, if you're going to go and record a John Mayer record, no. If you want to get that sort of classic sort of valve ampy sort of sound out of it, no, I don't think so. But would the majority of the general public hear? No, they wouldn't even know. And are the other units better? Yes, they are definitely better. But is the GT1 and the GT100 still usable? Very much so.
Several years ago, when I think before the NAMM show in Los Angeles, I made a couple of phone calls and got us an invite to East West Studios. Did you come to that one?
Yes, I did. Yeah, yeah, we did East West and then next door as well.
Yes, and did we? I think the time before that. Rex and I went, and we turned up, and there was 3 car parking spaces: Mr. Jordan, Mr. Palladino, and Mr. Mayer.
Oh, Jordan! I was thinking Jordan Rudess. I was like,
Steve Jordan. And John Mayer was recording in Studio One and had all his kit, so they weren't actually there, but looked at all and they said, yeah, you can have a look, but please don't take pictures and film because that would be really bad.
Oh yes, yeah, that would
be bad. Oh my god, the gear.
Oh yeah, John Mayer's got he's got a serious wallet to be able to pay for the gear, so
yes,
it's all good. K Michael P says, oh sorry guys, I'm late, but my social security check came today and the wife put me in prison. He's always in prison. Marky Effects. Greetings, folks. Greetings, Marky Effects. What with that tribes? I don't have perfect pitch, but I have a cheat. I've listened to a few songs that start in A, so many times I can hear them in my head constantly, so I can relative pitch from there. Yeah, I have that as well. Yeah,
I've got certain songs that I know the pitch of.
Yeah, and the guitar strings as well. I can, I can tune up a guitar just without a tuner. As in, you know what E is, don't you? You know that. You know what the sound of it by now.
Is B.
That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Mendel Rock says, cheers. Looking forward to that sequel in James's studio. It's going to be loud. Yes, it's going to be loud.
It's only ever going to be loud in my studio. The amount of soundproofing that's going in there and various isolating materials.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to have Motorhead in there and my neighbours won't hear a thing.
Bertrand says, "Thank. That was a great answer. Pleasure, mate. I'm glad you got something out of it."
Right, we're a little ahead of the game, but and he also says,
"This is, by the way, I'm in Quebec, Canada. Nice, nice, very nice part."
Should we start? As we're a little ahead of the game, should we do news and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Let me share. Okay.
Tonex.
Okay, so Tonex, as we talked about earlier, is being released on the 29th of September.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I didn't realize with this, it's iPad compatible as well. So basically, what you're going to be able to do is to capture your amplifier,
right?
Stick it on your iPad, and then go out and gig with an iPad.
Yeah.
See, that to me is brilliant because I mean, this is now going to be the Kemper killer, isn't it?
Potentially. The funniest thing has just happened is Max has just sent me a picture of his sausage and mash.
I see. We'll save that. We'll have a look at that in a minute.
Yeah, looking good.
Is it? I can't see it.
Okay. The only problem with this, and it's the same with all virtual instrument-y type things, is latency. Yeah. And if they get a true zero latency input and output solution, it will be a Kemper killer. If there's even a sniff of delay, no one's going to touch it.
Well, noticeable delay. That's true. Yes, I do think that's true. Yes, okay, that is true. But they've got their technology, they've got their interfaces, Interfi that plug into the.
It's got to be interfaces, surely.
What's that? It's got to be what?
It's got to be interfaces.
Interfaces, absolutely, interfaces. But yeah, I mean, if you think about it now, an iPad is way more powerful than a Kemper.
Yes, indeed. But there is still a Kemper has a dedicated, does one job A to D, and one job D to A.
Yeah.
Whereas an iPad has lots of power that does lots of little things.
Yes.
And that's always been the problem where you get, I remember the first Native Instruments guitar rig.
Yeah.
It was like, Gah!
Yeah, well, I used to gig with one. I used to gig with. I used to get the latency right down.
The first one with the blue controller.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh no, mine had the metal controller. Mine wasn't blue.
Not a blue little thing it didn't connect via USB. It connected audio into your computer.
Oh no, it wasn't that. No.
Oh, it was a bizarre thing.
Oh right, no.
Really bad. I mean, hilariously bad.
Oh really?
Yeah. If this works. And if it's as near zero latency as you can't feel, and it sounds good, you're going to see this everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not it's the fact that you can capture your amp and then go out with your amp as opposed to having a Kemper. Mm-hmm. People instead of going out and spending £1,400 on a Kemper, a grand second hand on a Kemper.
Yeah.
Personally, you can go and buy something that's far more useful, far more portable, far more less giggable, I guess, as well. An iPad with a big screen
You're
on it.
still going to have to work on that. The biggest problem with iPad,
Yeah,
and gigging,
yeah,
is the one port, because you want
Yeah.
it charging, and the chances are that the port is not going to support the thing, the I/O device, and charging at the same time, because they never do.
yeah. But I could charge up my iPad.
Yeah.
And yes, and I know it's all app dependent and dependent on what you're doing on it, depends on how quickly the battery depletes. But my iPad, I think you and me have got the same iPad, lasts about 10 hours.
Well, I've got the new one now.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
No.
I'll get 14 hours out of it.
Do you? Yeah. So you should better get through a gig.
Yeah, but there is still that the redundancy, the fail safe in me that goes, oh. Whereas, if you're using a dedicated hardware piece of kit that is designed to do that job and designed to be on for that amount of time, I don't know. It's going to be brilliant first, and then it's all those problems are going to have to go away. I know IK have their own dedicated I/O for iPad and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's got to work flawlessly, and I hope it does.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I do think you're right, but and I don't think I'd ever use it on a crucial gig, and I don't think you'd ever get any touring bands ever using it. But I think for like a wedding band or a pub band, I think that's quite a good solution. You stick that on your band.
Max says, James, IK Multimedia iRig stream charges iOS devices as well. So yeah,
there you go. I think. I mean, I'm looking forward to it coming out. It's going to be the basic version is £99.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get in contact with them because it's quite awkward sometimes. Okay, so here's what me and James do. If a company gets in contact with us, we would review the product. If we don't like the product, we won't review it.
Yeah.
So so we just go, no, I'm afraid we can't review this. It's not, it's not ready, or it's not right. It's not really the sort of thing we would do, or we don't like it. But I want to be completely unbiased on this, so I think it's worth spending the money.
I'm sure there'll be a demo as well.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Yes, you're probably right. Actually, it's probably just worth doing the demo, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Nice. So looking forward to that coming out. Here's the Fjord fuzz. Fjord. I thought this was funny. So this is the new Gibson Kirk Hammett, but it's basically greeny copy.
That looks like the album, the sleeve notes from Still Got the Blues.
Up the top.
No, that whole thing looks like the sleeve notes.
Yeah.
Blues.
It's got a picture of Gary Moore playing it up there. So basically, the Fender Custom Shop have, and obviously the Murphy Lab, I would have thought, definitely been involved in this, have recreated Kirk Hammett's, Gary Moore, Pete Green's guitar.
How did Kirk Hammett get it?
He paid. Didn't he pay like $2.5 million for it?
Because of all the people to have it,
I couldn't agree more. I mean,
I like Metallica. I love Metallica. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit his. Yes, it doesn't fit. It's a great looking guitar, though, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I would want it. How much is the tribute going to cost?
How much do you think?
50 grand.
Oh, you bastard! You got it on the nose. the 50 big $1.
50 grand for a guitar. That's not even the real thing.
I think that's taking the piss. I don't know. I don't know how they can justify it. I cannot. I just don't get it. I don't understand how they can justify 50 grand. And also I can't see. I mean, obviously it's going to be a limited model. 50. They're going to make 50 of them. I mean, is this the way we're going? We're going for like limited models, limited runs. And I mean, I know that they do. Companies do that already, but 50 grand.
That's a lot.
I think that's taking the piss.
Anyway. I think massively so. Max does say,
yeah.
He says Kurt Boy from Hard Rock Cafe, I believe.
Right.
Kurt is a guitar nut.
Yeah.
And Metallica is his day job.
That's a good way. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I mean, I yes, but I was with you when he bought it. I was like, that's a weird fit. I mean, I could understand him owning it, but he takes it out with Metallica, and every time he takes it out, I go, oh god. But mind you, the headstock's been repaired enough times. But and
it's not like they gave it to Uncle Bob and his workshop down the garden to fix it. It's probably gone to the greatest luthiers on planet Earth.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is a lovely looking guitar. Some craziness from Fender Japan.
Do you know what? I'm not offended by that.
No, I'm not. I don't like I tell you what I don't like. I don't like this pickup cavity weirdness that's going on.
Yeah.
Cover that up. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see that.
I'm not offended by the swirly paisley one.
No, I think it's quite. I mean, it looks like a.
It looks like a James Bond. It looks like the James Bond opening credits to Casino Royale. You know when packs of cards have all those swirls and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hate headstock. That does not work. But
it is a pack of cards.
Oh, is that what it is? It's a pack of cards. What's the?
Well, they call it paisley, but it looks more like packs of cards to me.
It's weird, isn't it? Anyway,
I bet it's not cheap though.
It's Fender Japan. I mean, I find it quite weird about the whole sort of Fender and Fender Japan, because it's like Fender's like an American company. I think Fender Japan is just it's like having, it's like, you know, like we were talking about the other day with last week's with the what's the guitar, the Huff guitar, the Dan Huff guitar.
Yeah.
You know, and there's an American made one and there's a Japanese made one. It's not doesn't feel like the same thing.
No.
Yeah, it should be a different company, but I quite like that. I think that's quite cool. The little gold swirly bit.
Has your semi Strat got an arm carve, or it hasn't?
No, it hasn't got an arm carve. No,
because I was looking at the Eric Johnson one today, and that has the Eric Johnson semi has got a carve on top.
Yeah, no, this hasn't at all. It's like a telly. It's like it's completely flat. Yeah. Look at this. I thought this was interesting. Def Leppard and Motley Crue stadium tour, because you know they just finished it. They're about to finish it. $173.5 million in ticket sales.
Yeah, but getting that sort of tour around the world is not cheap.
Hey, I'm not saying it is, but there's a nice little profit for everyone out of that.
There is, hopefully.
You're dead right. There's not. Yeah, there's a lot of that's.
And also, these aren't guys who go with, you know, 4 Parkans each side and a 4.5K PA. These guys are touring with 50, 60 trucks.
Is it still is it a bit weird to go and see Fat Bid Sneal? It's like, I don't know.
Girls, or grannies.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. Anyway, next one. Apogee have released an interface with DSP called the Boom. Have you seen this?
I haven't. I must admit, it looks horrific though.
It is. Yeah, it's not a looker, is it? It looks really cheap.
Is it really cheap?
It's got DSP in it. Let's have a look.
What's quite funny about this?
Yeah.
Now, having worked for another well-known online publication,
yeah,
we were predicting the end of external DSP
Right.
and have been for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody needs external DSP, nobody needs this, nobody needs that, and yet UAD is still a thing. Antelope Audio now have external DSP. We know that Apogee have had external DSP, but they haven't put the plugins out there to harness it until the last couple of 3 years. Now they're doing a small box with DSP on board. Clearly, external DSP is not going away, even though we have supercomputers that can now fit on our bags and stuff, and iPads that are more powerful than computers were 5 years ago.
Yeah,
clearly, it's not going away. I think that looks like a war on the carbuncle of pro audio. Personally,
it's not good, is it?
It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. It looks like something that Avid would have brought out 20 years ago.
It looks like something that George Lucas went, right, that will do as our kind of modern binoculars for Star Wars.
That's what it looks like. It does look like those, doesn't it?
Or it looks like Johnny Five's face from Short Circuit.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? It does look a bit like that.
It was just going, Johnny Five was alive.
Yeah, so it's 369 euro.
So yeah, 350 quid.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will sound great. I'm sure it'll have an Apogee thing, but it's not pretty. It's not a look. Is it actually purple or is it just lit that way?
It's purple.
It is.
Okay. Orange. L'Orange have released some pedals.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
They didn't spend much on their design R&D, did they?
No, I mean, look, that's the difference. Okay, right. Actually, let's find out how much they cost. They're £200 each.
Right.
Okay. I mean, look at the difference of design. Huh?
How much are they?
They're about that price as well.
But you have to, when you're orange and you're known for that kind of utilitarian look.
Yeah.
Putting all shininess and weird hieroglyphs on it it doesn't fit your company image. What that is fits their image entirely. A very utilitarian box that's going to sound really good, I'm sure.
Well, yes, but a lot of orange products are made in the Far East.
Is that bad?
No. I'm not saying that. But the components that, when you're talking about components and labor, I mean, I don't know where these are made. It doesn't actually say.
Right.
So they could be made in the UK. To me, they look a bit cheap. And I think if they are made in the Far East, I mean, the thing is, like, the actual components that are in these things.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on.
No, and I know from having built pedals.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of componentry in them.
Yeah. And I think that's anyway. I don't know. I feel like I could upset someone. Anyway, next one. I thought this looked cool.
That looks very cool.
So this is MXR Super Badass Dynamic OD, which is replacement. They're saying is this going to be the full tone OCD replacement? Because we talked a couple of weeks ago about full tone closing shop and stopping production.
There were some full tone OCD pedals in the auction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't go stupidly high, but they certainly went over what you'd normally pay. Yeah.
I mean, there's no point. I mean, look at this. Look. So that pedal there is $129.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's that looks like good money. That's good. That's a good buy, as opposed to the orange stuff.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yep.
I'm really offended by this.
The Gibson. Just think they've got.
What is going on with this?
Do you think they've got a suicide mission going on?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what is going on.
What is with that headstock?
Oh no, that's. I mean, yes, the headstock is
I hate to say it. If Gibson were after Dean,
yeah, Dean have got headstock like that, haven't they?
Dean should go after Gibson.
That's so true, but that is a traditional. There was a.
That's hideous.
Yes, it is hideous. It is proper hideous.
But it's like they've squeezed the Gibson logo into there in the worst possible way. That is hideous.
Yeah, it is. But there are, there has been a Gibson headstock.
I don't care. It's still hideous.
Oh, I know, mate. It's a wrong one. Can I also talk about what's going on with the
pickup selector? That's going to get tweaked.
What is going on? Yeah, it's just like, look, oh man, it's everything about that is just wrong.
How much?
I think what you just said there about our Gibson on a destruct mission, it does seem a bit odd. I mean, I know it's Adam Jones, and he can pretty much sell anything, but it is a weird.
Yeah, but it's got to look good. I'm sure there's someone out there going, "What are those boys talking about?" It's a thing of beauty. I'm sorry. That's that is, that's fallen out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
That sucks. It sucks balls, doesn't it? I've got to agree.
It's got looks only a mother could love.
Yeah, it's a wrong one. It's a definite wrong on that one.
That's hideous. Sorry, Gibson.
No, well, mate, that's all right. I won't worry too much. And they've done. Fender had done a Johnny A custom shop, which I think looks really nice. Now, I thought Johnny A was a Gibson in Dorsey.
Clearly not.
No. See, I might have got this all wrong, but that looks nice.
Is it just me?
Yeah.
Or does that not just look like every Fender Strat?
It does. It does. I think the colour's slightly different. Got a bird's eye maple neck, 7.25 radius, which is going to be interesting. I mean, a lot of people don't like 7.25.
Curved, isn't it?
Huh?
That's quite curvy.
Yeah, it's curvy. Yeah, it's traditional. It's a very sort of traditional 50s, 60s sort of profile.
Right.
I like it. I mean, yes,
I like it. But the red with gold just looks like the Hank Marvin.
Yes, it does a bit. It does a bit. The scratch plate's different on the Hank Marvin, but
yeah. I mean, red with gold hardware just looks a bit like the Hank Marvin. I mean,
for me, that's why I don't like any gold hardware. That's why I don't like it.
Gawkingly ugly, like that last tree waster.
Tree waster.
How much is it? Oh.
What does it say? 5.5 squillions.
Yeah. That's a lot.
$5,500.
That's a lot.
And Boss have released the GAFC EX foot controller, which is the update for the GAFC foot controller, which really
now talks to that's almost, to me, that's far more interesting in its own right. It's 150 quid now.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and they're going to sell that by the bucket load.
Anyone who's got a Tanner needs one of those.
Oh yes, right. So I think that's me. Hold on, I think that's me done.
Wow.
Yes, that's me done.
You're out.
There we go.
Okay. Let's get back into this then. And go. Farad says,
"Thanks for taking up the idea of recording video. Look forward to it. And anytime, mate. Anytime. Yep. If there's videos, if there's videos that will get a decent amount of views and are useful to people, then it's definitely worth doing, without doubt."
Although the funny thing is, I thought the Marshall video would do like 10 views.
Oh no.
Clearly, I still know nothing about the internet and YouTube.
Oh yeah, no. I thought that one would do quite well, but you never know. Chris says, have you heard the new Pink Floyd Animals remix yet? Thoughts? I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard it. I didn't know they had. No.
Oh, that'd be.
I do love me some Floyd though.
He does love a bit of that. Max says, James, IK Multimedia Overage. Yeah, we've done that. Yeah. Mendel rocks. I pre-ordered Tonex hoping it would be better than the Quad Cortex. I tried a couple of Quad Cortex captures, but didn't like how it comes out slightly different from how you had your amp set. Need it foolproof. Yeah, good luck. I think good luck with that. I'm not sure it's ever going to capture because it's static. It doesn't move.
I think as well,
yeah,
after a piece of software that costs 200 quid to do the same as a £1,500 hardware unit, Mendel is a push.
Yeah, but hold on a second. But you're not paying for the hardware. You're paying for the software. So you've already paid for the. You go and buy an iPad. You go and buy an iPad Pro. It's going to cost what's a cheap iPad Pro now? £1,000.
About that, yeah, probably.
So there you go. It's hardware.
No, you're probably right, and I'm probably batting up the wrong tree. But I think that's an ask. But hey, if it's a good ask, then great.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Ben says, in regards to latency, truth is real amps in a room have no less than 25 milliseconds of latency before it reaches your ears. I feel like I've heard with a good interface. I don't think it's a problem. Now, you see, this is the problem. That this is what companies like Kemper, Axefx, Neural DSP. This right. So we need to clear this up about this latency thing. Yes, there is a certain amount of latency when or distance between pick attack to when it goes into your amplifier if you're plugged into a long lead. So that long lead creates a certain amount of time, and also the amount of time coming from the amplifier to your ears is a certain amount of time. Let's say 25 milliseconds of latency. I don't think it's that much, but let's say
it's speed of light.
It's. I mean, you can. There's a definite difference, and I don't get it with the Axefx. The Axefx is fantastic. It's there, but I don't feel it. But anyway, okay. Say you unplug that lead. You plug into a modeler, and the people, the people that make the modelers say, "Oh, it's only got 10 milliseconds worth of latency." Well, it hasn't got 10 milliseconds worth of latency. You've just taken that cable, which you plugged into your amp, which already gives you 10 milliseconds worth of latency. That's the internal processing. There is no internal processing going on inside an amplifier. It's instant. It's like that. Okay, that's the difference. So all of this bullshit that these companies are saying that it's the same as plugging into an amplifier, it's not. Should I go up a soapbox? Off the soapbox?
No, but you're right. I hate to say it, mate. You are right. You just are.
And it's still going to come to you, yeah. And you plug that modeler into your speakers or whatever. It's still going to take the time to come to you. It's more than an amplifier. It always will be. And
speed of sound is the speed of sound. That's given. Short of maybe going up a mountain, the speed of sound is the fixed thing. That's what you feel when you stand further away from an amplifier with a long lead.
Mm-hmm.
What you feel when you play through a modeler that is latent is the round trip latency, the A to D conversion going from your guitar amp into the processing, and then the D to A conversion, digital to analog conversion, coming out of the guitar processing through an amp into a speaker or into your ears or whatever.
Exactly.
They're a very different thing.
Very different thing.
He also says,
Ben says, and anyone wanting to use it live will not want a good interface anyway. Part of why I upgraded to a Volt. Interesting, yeah. Well, I'm not sure that's true. I'm not sure that's true because the Quad Cortex is still an interface. The Axefx is still an interface.
Yeah. But they're dedicated. Their interface is dedicated to do a particular job.
Yes, but you can still use them as an interface. You can.
The 11 rack is an interface.
Exactly. All that sort of stuff. I don't think. I mean, personally, I would rather have a better interface, which is going to have the lowest latency that I could possibly get. I don't know what the latency is on the round trip latency is on a UA Volt. It's probably great.
It's however you set up your buffer sizing.
Yep,
that's the truth.
What was that? Tribe says, haha, I literally said bastards at the exact same time as Paul. Why did I say bastards? What was that over?
Gibson, probably.
Gibson still authentically outpacing Fed interest rate rises. It's crazy. That's a crazy price at 50 grand.
Yes.
I still like one. I'm not sure it's an investment. The only people that are going to buy that are people that are not going to play it.
Yeah.
And that upsets me because it's making it into a
collector's item. It's
Huh?
it's not an instrument, it's a collector's item.
It's going to hang on some rich person's wall and never get played. And anytime anyone goes anywhere near it to play it, they're going to go, what? Anyway. And you've got to give Kirk, I was about to say Kirk Douglas. Kurt Hammett. You've got to give Kurt Hammett some dues for this. He plays that live.
Yeah.
It comes out, which is,
Well,
same
it might be one of the copies.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Marcelo Guimeres. Do you reckon I got that right?
I'll go with that. Yeah, well done.
Thank you. He says, hello, looking for my first pedal effect, trying to decide between GT1 and Nux MG30. What is your opinion? Do you have any other suggestion? James?
GT1 every day.
I think I would rather go with a Boss product because it's going to last you. They do, and they're built really well, all Boss stuff. And if you get any problems with any equipment, Boss are really good about it.
They're a big enough company to write good drivers, to write all the sort of stuff that you need to work.
Yeah.
When small guitar effects companies, relatively small guitar effects companies, get into writing software and drivers and stuff, it's often, not always, but it's often a car crash.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've never tried the Nux MG30. It might be fantastic, and it might be brilliant. Look, go and try them both out. See which one you prefer. The GT one's really easy to use.
Yeah.
KMP, these guitars for people that have more money than sense. Sense, I think.
I have more sense than dollars.
More sense than dollar.
Sense than dollars.
Very good.
You got it there? Yes.
Yeah, another dad joke.
Yeah.
Other question. I hear some Behringer bashing about their amps. Not from us, honest.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Is it justified? I don't get it because I have an ultra bass Behringer bass amp that proved its versatility and reliability for years. Nice one. Sorry, we might be involved in that bashing. We're not.
I bought a. What was it called?
God, it was awful, that thing.
Bulgaria.
It looked like the Vox Night Train.
Yeah, it was awful. It was shocking.
It's horrible.
Yeah, sorry.
That thing was horrible.
In my opinion, the Behringer bashing for that thing is certainly valid.
Yeah, I'm sure some of their other stuff is fantastic. Ben Mayer says, one thing I really want to see with Tonex with acoustic guitar, in theory, this tech should be able to make your crappy piezo sound like a mic'd guitar.
I would be interested to hear that.
I think there's quite a lot going on with acoustic guitar.
Hey, if there's processing in it and it can do it,
yeah, okay,
great. Because there is nothing more uninspiring than that thin, weedy piezo sound. Why do engineers just roll all the top, all the middle out, and just leave you with this?
Horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. Yeah.
I remember the worst acoustic guitar sound I ever heard is if you listen to. There's a track called "Liar's Dance" on the Nebworth album, the Nebworth '90 album, where Robert Plant was. The Silverclef Award winner that year. And the acoustic guitar sound is just awful.
Is it?
I mean, shocking. I appreciate 1990s a while ago now, but acoustic guitars haven't changed much.
Yeah. War Without Tribe says grands, purple rinse and wrinkly lips.
You know, because it's grands. Yeah.
Oh, I see. We're talking about Motley.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
really good. What was the one before? What's happened there? Sorry.
People laughing at.
Oh, very good. That's really good. Yeah, it's really good. David Bro, shame on Gibson and Motley Crue for selling inferior products at a premium. I don't know. I think. Oh no, I'm not going to bash anymore. Do any more Vince Neil bashing.
He's been doing quite enough of that on his own.
Oh, bless him. Purple is a thing. Apogee insisted on in classic gear. God knows why. These days they think we will all love it if it's purple. Interesting. Nothing wrong with being made in the Far East. No, there's nothing wrong with being made in the Far East. And I don't mean that, but there's a difference of having a boutique product and then just having something made in the Far East and then selling it for the same price as a boutique product. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
I think there are some things that I mean, you know, I had a Tama drum kit for years, and that's Japanese made, and it's an absolute stunner of a kit.
Yep.
I don't think you want a Japanese samurai sword made anywhere else. You don't want a Mexican equivalent, do you? You don't want to buy a Mexican katana, and by that I mean the sword, not the amp.
I think those orange pedals, they look like 59-pound pedals to me.
Yes,
that's what they look like.
Yeah.
Except for taking over the world. What are we talking about here?
Nothing wrong with the Far East, except for taking over the world. I'm assuming. I don't really know.
Okay. Thomas says, I'm late today because it's a public holiday and I slept in. It's 6 a.m. here in Brisbane. Did I miss anything? Not a lot, mate. Just us being silly.
Different day.
Same old guff, yeah.
Oh, Paul's got a black eye. That's about it.
I got a black eye. That helps. There we go.
We fell out last week.
Yeah. It's fugly. What's fugly? Oh yeah, the
not
Gibson.
Your eye, mate. Don't worry.
No, the Gibson thing. Bertrand says Gibson seemed to excel at shooting itself in the foot. Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a funny. It is a strange one. No mother is going to love that. Lol. Yes, there was a Johnny A hollow. Yes, it was a Gibson hollow. It didn't have the Florentine cut, the two cuts.
Yes.
It's just a Strat fundamentally. It's true. It's just a Strat fundamentally. Boss's naming is no better than Ibanez.
Agreed.
Really?
Well, I would say at least Boss GT does at least generally mean guitar.
I think Ibanez is terrible. Ibanez with their, it's like a load of letters and numbers. No.
Ford car from the mid 80s. You had your Sierra XR3i, XR4i, 2.2 litre GLS, bloody.
Yes, but if Ibanez did that, it would be a Ford. It would be a Ford Sierra XRI BLK because it was black, and all these. No. Sound takes 1 millisecond a foot to get from speaker to your ear, but there you go. We'll report back in a few weeks. Tonex QC routing for IK, but we'll see. Yes, it'd be interesting. Looking forward to it kicking off. I'll check it out next week when it comes out. David says, Reverend.
Got nothing.
No. Pet says, Pet's in the house. Actually, no, hold on. I'll come back to that. When using aux channels for your reverbs, delays, etc., how much do you dial in? I'm interested in why there's extremes. Why would you set it for? Pet, I'm doing a video on this tomorrow. I'm doing a video on my favorite plugins. My favorite plugins to use with guitar sound. So raw guitar sound, doesn't matter if it's a modular, if it's an amp, whatever it is. Once you've got it in, how do you decorate the guitar sound? I'm doing a video like that.
Guitar sound decoration. I like that. That sounds.
So I'll go through all of this sort of stuff tomorrow. I hope. Yeah, I'll try and remember to do dial in and stuff. Ben says you're right. 25 is way too long for amp in a room. I just googled it and saw 1 millisecond per foot. 10 to 12 being acceptable according to different sites. Tone Dragon. What's he got? How's that? Look at his gear. He's got an Engel. He's got the Bassman. Nice. He's a lefty. Nice. Afternoon, gents. Curious what you think. Are some decent studio monitors? Curious what you guys think are some decent studio monitors and don't break the bank. Cheers.
I came with Media iLouds.
And they're bringing out the new ones. Have you seen the new ones they're bringing out?
They look amazing.
They're really good. Those iLouds are brilliant.
And they are loud. They're tiny. They're like, think of them as PC desktop speakers, but they sound great.
They're bigger than that though. They're bigger. They're about so big.
Yeah. Doesn't break the
bank. Out big.
The Bank of England, Bank of Mum, the Bank of Me.
Well, let's say speakers at around about price of a small set of KRKs. £200 a speaker.
All right. For that money, it's definitely got to be iLouds.
I think I'm with you. Yeah, I think they sound brilliant.
Because you could spend £500 a speaker and it not sound as good as those things.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're
not going to be affected by the size of your room because they're a small thing they're putting out. Don't expect them to take on a 100-watt Marshall cab for output volume, but I don't think that's what you want. So
no, they're good. They are really good. IK Multimedia iLouds. Yeah, very good.
Great little things.
Max says there are impulse response libraries available of acoustic guitars. Indeed, it's intended for loading up on convolution pedals.
That should be packs.
Pedals, I think.
Pedal, yeah.
Yes. I quite like Pedac.
Yeah.
Works for me. Ben says, I said I want a good one, not will. Sorry, I said I want a good one, not will not. Lol. Oh,
yeah. We read it. We read it.
Did I read it wrong? Oh, I apologize.
There in the end.
Great points about the round trip latency, just internal. Yes. Good evening, gents. Hope you're well. Can you recommend a good practice amp for guitar?
Boss Katana.
There you go. Can't beat it.
Yeah, because you don't have to turn it up for it to still sound good. You can still gig with it. Yes.
Yeah, reasonably priced. Sounds brilliant, Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed. You'll love it. Ben says, looking at all the amps behind you both, I see people like you make captures of them. So looking at the amps behind you both is CP.
Like you make capture them. Yeah, we could capture them.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
I have. I've captured them all on. Did I release that Kemper pack?
I don't know.
If I did, anyway, I don't know. I did. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did release them.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. At last, Lee, where have you been? Unbelievable. Evening all, says Lee. I've been rather busy with life crap, and I'm late on parade tonight too. A couple of quiet weeks coming up though, so can fully participate. Nice,
mate. You are always missed. So
yes, absolutely. Everyone was saying for the past couple of weeks, where's Lee?
Yep.
Ben, elaborating on acoustic guitar, these tech trains and AI to make a dry sound into the same as the wet sound. It trains on the difference and does math and magic. Should work for acoustic, I imagine. Yeah, I don't know. I think an acoustic guitar is far more complicated than a speaker.
I think acoustic guitar is
complicated.
Only very different to electric.
Yeah. The whole way you can change the sound completely by.
Friends of mine have got, or a friend of mine has got a Axis Music Man with a piezo in it.
Yeah.
And I remember someone saying to him, "How do you get on with the fourth string not being wound?" And he went, "Oh yeah, that's going to change the sound massively."
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think people don't know. No, I think people use piezo.
99% of the people in the world in the audience couldn't give a monkeys. It sounds like, oh, he's got an acoustic guitar. No, he hasn't. Okay.
Yeah. Ben says, I've been talking to some of the people who made open source plugins similar, and they agree it should be possible. I'm planning to try out with those plugins soon. Nice.
Cool.
He also says, problem is you need to record the test tones yourself. No pre-recorded test tones since it's an acoustic instrument, so you need to play a variety of stuff to get a good recording.
Yes.
Tone Dragon says, perfect. Thanks, guys. Always helpful. Love the channel. Anytime, mate. Max says, got one of those Spark 40 gizmos. Actually managed to gig with it while away on holiday at the start of the month. Wow. Spark, to gig with a Spark. That's a feat.
I've used a Spark as an amp on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great little thing.
Frankie's in the house. It's a good afternoon from sunny LA. Hope you're all well, and to you, Frankie, as well. I have an ideas about again. Tone Dragon, also a good pair of monitors, are the Carly in 5s for the same price as the Island.
Carly's are good, yeah.
Yeah? I've never tried them.
Cali's or yeah.
Yeah, Cali, sorry. They're Cali, aren't they? I have an idea. Hi, guys. Hi, Ivan. Lee says, any thoughts on the Nux Mighty Plug Pro? Oh, Lee's on it more than me. What is the Nux Mighty Plug Pro? Let's have a quick look.
We're about to find out.
Okay. Can you put it on?
I am doing so now.
So what is it? It's an app on your phone. So basically, it's taken the idea of the boss.
Bluetooth plug-in for your guitar to your phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Latent as all hell.
Well, the boss one isn't.
All right, okay.
So the boss one isn't. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's great. I reckon that's a great little practice tool, and also a great little get you out of jail if you were at a gig and everything went down.
Yeah, I still think the latency will be the killer on that. Again, I could be wrong. I could be living in the past.
Yeah. Look, and you got your
acoustics as well.
Acoustics as well. Nice. God, I've got enough effects for that. Great.
Very cool.
Excellent. We like that a lot. Coming out.
Well, we've got to the end, which is a beautiful thing.
I could do with an early night, to be honest.
I've got a pack still, which is always good.
Oh no.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be back next week where we'll have the next installment of What Color Paul's Eye Is. We'll have more things to talk about. I'm sure there'll be more gear launching. There's some more videos coming this week. Some cool stuff. Some more stuff that's being released that we have to talk about, hopefully. But in the meantime, everyone have a safe and joyous week ahead of you. Anyone who finds themselves in Birmingham this weekend, give me a shout and I will... I'm not sure I can get you into the show, but maybe we can meet up for a beer afterwards if anyone's that part of the world. But yeah, have a good one, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you same time next week.
Cheers, guys.